The Bible has these moments where it lets us overhear something incredibly rare. A man who doesn't just question God, he literally argues with him. This is the story of Habakkuk, a man who took all his anger and confusion straight to the source and was completely transformed by that conversation.
So let's get right to the heart of it, shall we? The entire story really hinges on this one question, a question that feels just as raw today as it did thousands of years ago. It's a question a lot of us have probably wrestled with. If God is all-powerful and good, then why does it so often look like evil is winning? Habakkuk just refuses to let that question go.
And this is where we meet our guy Habakkuk. And get this, his name literally tells you everything you need to know about his personality. It means one who embraces or one who clings. This isn't someone who keeps his distance. He grabs hold of a problem and just will not let go.
Now here's what's so fascinating about Habakkuk. It's how he deals with his doubt. I mean, most people might just wrestle with it on their own, or maybe argue with their friends. But Habakkuk, he does something totally different. He takes his fight directly to God.
And this right here is such a powerful form of faith. We often think of faith as this calm, quiet trust, right? But Habakkuk shows us it can also be a fierce, brutally honest engagement. He doesn't just walk away when things get tough. He clings to God even when he is angry with him. He takes all that frustration, all that confusion, and he aims it straight into his prayers. It's an act of holding on, not letting go.
Okay, so what's got him so worked up? Let's paint the picture. We are in Jerusalem. It's been about 20 years since a big religious reform under King Josiah, and, well, it failed. The city has slid right back into some seriously deep corruption, and Habakkuk is right there, watching it all fall apart.
And this is what he's seeing every single day. It's not some vague feeling that things are bad. No, it's a brutal and specific reality. There's violence in the streets. The courts are totally corrupt with bribery. The very idea of justice is just twisted and unrecognizable. And the wicked? They seem completely untouchable.
And so Habakkuk just cries out, and his prayer is so raw, so honest. He's basically screaming, God, how long do I have to watch this nightmare? Why would you show me all this injustice, but then do nothing? Why open my eyes to see this horror, but then just close your mouth and stay silent?
And then God answers. But here's the thing. The answer he gets, it's not comforting at all. It is not the solution Habakkuk was hoping for. In fact, it's absolutely devastating, and it's about to make everything a whole lot worse.
This is it. This is the answer. God tells him, you think I'm sitting here doing nothing? Oh, I'm doing something. Something you wouldn't even believe if I told you. And that something is this. I am raising up the Babylonians. For Habakkuk, you have to understand, this is a total gut punch.
So why is this so horrifying? Well, the Babylonians, they weren't just some other army. These guys were the new regional superpower. They were this terrifying, rapidly growing empire, and their reputation for absolute cruelty was legendary. They didn't just conquer people, they annihilated everything. Crops, animals, trees, nothing was left. This is definitely not the justice Habakkuk was asking for.
And this is what sparks Habakkuk's second complaint. And honestly, it cuts even deeper than the first one. He was angry that God was doing nothing, and now he is absolutely horrified by what God is doing. It feels completely backwards. How could a holy God use a nation that's way more evil than his own people as a tool for punishment?
He just can't wrap his head around this. So he does something really dramatic. He literally climbs up a watchtower, stands guard, and just waits. He's demanding that God explain himself. It's this incredible, tense standoff, a man just stuck between defiance and desperation, refusing to accept the answer he's been given.
Okay, so what happens up there on that watchtower? This is the moment the whole story pivots. God does respond again, but this time the answer isn't about explaining current events. It's about completely changing Habakkuk's perspective.
God tells him to write this down, to make the vision so plain that someone running past could read it. It's a call to get ready, not just to watch. And right in the middle of all this, God says one sentence, a sentence that's going to change religious history forever.
The righteous shall live by faith. Just let that sink in for a second. This single line is so powerful it will one day spark the Protestant Reformation in Europe. But to really get its original impact, we have to know what it meant right then and there.
And this is absolutely key. When we hear the word faith today, we often think it just means believing a set of facts. But that's not what the original Hebrew word means here at all. It means faithfulness. It means steadfast loyalty. It means endurance. God is saying that the people who are going to make it through the coming disaster are the ones who stay loyal, who keep clinging to Him even when the whole world is falling apart around them.
And then comes the line that finally seems to quiet Habakkuk's soul. Now, this isn't God telling him to just shut up. It's more of an invitation, a call to stop arguing, stop demanding, and just listen, to remember that God is still in control, even when the world feels like it's spinning wildly out of it.
I mean, just look at the change here. Before this revelation, you've got a guy who is restless, angry, impatient, demanding justice. And after, he's calm, he's joyful, he's patient, and he's asking for mercy. So the big question is, what on earth happened up there?
So let's look at this transformation. This is the result of his argument with God. And here's the thing. It was never about winning the argument. It was about being totally changed by the encounter itself.
And you can see the proof right there in how the book is structured. The third and final chapter, the whole tone shifts. It's not a complaint anymore. It's a song of praise. He stops demanding answers about what's happening right now and starts remembering God's power throughout all of history.
And it all builds to this absolutely breathtaking declaration of faith. He imagines the worst-case scenario, the complete devastation the Babylonians will bring. The fig trees have no fruit, the fields are empty, there's nothing left. And even then, he says, "Yet will I rejoice in the Lord."
So here's the big takeaway, right? He didn't get all the answers he wanted. God never gave him a neat little chart explaining the morality of using Babylon. But that wasn't the point. His heart was settled. He moved from wrestling with God to resting in God.
In the end, Habakkuk's story completely redefines what faith can look like. It isn't about having zero doubts or zero questions. It's about what you do with them. Faith is the active, wrestling, clinging refusal to let go of God even while you're shouting your questions at Him.
And that really leaves us with a huge question for our own lives, doesn't it? In our world, a world that is so often filled with confusion and injustice, what does it mean for us to cling to what we believe in, not by ignoring our anger or our doubts, but by wrestling with them honestly?